Heyo, welcome in to the CHGO White Sox podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app today and use promo code CHGO when you sign up. Our guy Steven, who hung out with us yesterday in the CHGO Diehard Happy Hour, asking, what is the name of the canal that divides North and South America in Central America that was completed in 1914, as we know, and Sarah didn't yesterday? It is Panama. It's apparently a band I hate. I don't remember saying I dislike Van Halen.
You were very anti Van Halen yesterday, but thankfully me and Herb, we threw you in the back of a van and we did the Clockwork Orange thing where we held your ears open and made you listen to the entire Diamond Dave era of Van Halen, and so we're all good now. Everyone here loves Van Halen.
Sean, do you know who the best Panamanian pitcher is of all time?
Is it Mo?
Oh yes,
yeah.
Herb thought he had a good one coming at you there, and then he was like, "Oops."
If you are a White Sox fan, that is not true. It's Bruce Chin.
He's Panamanian.
He is Panamanian.
He's a Panamaniac.
Love that show. Hey, I think we had a lot of fun last night with our CHGO Diehard Happy Hour. I do want to thank all the people that are hanging out. I mean, Vinny's already drinking a goose. It's already the weekends, folks. It's basically 5 o'clock too. And Herb's got another one. Look at you guys. I'm out. But Jimbo's hanging out with us. Alex hanging out with us. Melissa, Steven, all names that were hanging out with us yesterday for the CHGO Diehard Happy Hour. I had so much fun last night. I ended up ordering wings at like 11:30. It was a good night, guys.
All right,
very enjoyable. Love the people who came out there and were out asking questions, just enjoying some good times with some Goose Island in their hand. And we should be doing that soon enough. I want to do that again because it was a good way of just meeting people, putting faces to names, and also talking White Sox baseball and all that good stuff. So I can't wait to our next one.
Yeah, I'll volunteer too. I had a lot of fun. It was cool too. It's the second time people have brought up a shirt with Vinny's face on it. So hey, Vinny, the people are clamoring to wear your shirt around town.
Be careful what you wish for.
I don't
get it and buy one and then scare all the people on your street.
I'm with Herb. I don't know about this. I don't know about that whole idea.
I don't know if people are going to buy it. If we associate it with the charity, as Melissa brought up, the Steve Stone, Jason Bilous thing where charity was attached to that, people are going to buy it. People's not going to buy my face on a shirt just to buy it. My family, maybe. That's even questionable.
Yeah, I don't think that it would be hot off the presses. I didn't think that Jason Bilous would be hot off the presses. We got some Cleveland Guardian signings to talk about. Then we're going to talk about Yaz, probably the most fun name to say on the White Sox and preview his 2023 season. And then I got more games for you guys. I tried not to rig it. One of them will be a team game. You and Herb will be teamed up, Vinny. So that way, can't have any issues.
Neither of us can lose, Herb.
Yeah, right. There you go.
All time. I'm like Parker Lewis. I'm feeling good now. Did you get the reference, Sean?
No.
Okay. So Parker Lewis can't lose.
Just laughing through it. And then the other one, again, it's kind of a team one, but the first one to get it, we'll just kind of we'll kind of get the win. But also shout out to Husky Bardo. We've been seeing the name Stephen Bardo for a long time, and I've always thought of the Illinois basketball player. But now it's Husky Bardo who joined in the diehard last night. We saw that in the Discord. So again, if you want to hang out with us for any of the upcoming happy hours, and it's not just White Sox happy hours. We have Bears ones that have happened, Blackhawk ones that have happened. The Cubs one did one a week before. Make sure you're joining the diehard at allchgo.com. You get a shirt when you sign up. You get access to the CHGO Lounge, access to the fun events that we're going. We have the Blackhawks takeover tomorrow, and if you were a diehard, you got 20% off to that. So it is a great program to get involved with and join the community that we've been building for almost a year. We're closing in less than a month away from our birthday, guys. So you guys have any gifts that you guys are going to give the company?
We have to give ourselves a gift.
I don't know. Maybe buy yourself some new shoes, a little gift to yourself. Anyways, as Matthew Lucas says in the chat, Zack Collins, also a now Cleveland Guardian. He got a non-roster invite to spring training. So Zack Collins is going to be a Guardian, and Jason Bilous, who is designated for assignment with the German move. It was picked up by the Guardians on waivers. So, hey, we've seen Connor Pilkington come back and not really bite the White Sox because the White Sox knocked him around Cleveland. But what's up with the Guardians? Kind of taking our people here.
Like I said, when Connor Pilkington was initially traded a couple years ago, he's probably going to be better than he was as a White Sox farmhand. But as we saw last year, nothing special, nothing real special. But, Cleveland always comes up with these guys. So I was chatting or joking in the chat between us three that it's going to be a combined no-hitter with him and Bilous, with Zack Collins with the walk-off home run, 1-0 Cleveland Guardians win.
Well, it's funny, they make all these. That's a good one, Herb, of course. But you needed some reaction to that. No, it's funny. The White Sox will pick up.
Well,
these
my
guys
reaction
that
to it was that why wouldn't Zack Collins just be catching it? I don't. Zack Collins hitting a home run is a stretch.
Have you seen Zack Collins catch?
Have you seen him hit?
He's caught a no-hitter.
He's hit home runs.
He's caught a no-hitter. I don't think he's hit many home runs. Not since his first at bat.
He's caught a no-hitter.
Sorry,
but no, I was just gonna say, like, it's funny, the reaction of these to a move like that. Everybody looks when the White Sox make a move. Hey, they got Jesse Schultens or they got Nate Fisher, and everybody goes, "Who the hell is that?" Well, guess what? Everybody in Cleveland today is going, "Who the hell is that?" about Jason Bilous. So a White Sox pitching prospect of note here lately, but probably not very well known outside of the area. Again, guys, pitching depth, minor league depth, the Guardians did what the White Sox have also been doing, and probably not a move that's moving the needle too much in Ohio either, even if he is on the 40-man roster over there now.
Yeah, and it's an interesting 40-man roster now for the White Sox because I thought they've had a lot of fluff on it, and with the Bilous departure, I feel like their 40-man's in a really good spot here. You have now seen the new faces of Franklin German, who is the minor league pitcher of the year for the Red Sox. Jason Bilous wasn't the minor league pitcher for the year for the White Sox last year. He was a valuable arm because he 8 innings for Charlotte in Birmingham, but not that quality arm that you're looking for. Jake Diekman's still a little bit of fat, and that was not the best of trades, but I don't know if Reese McGuire would have a spot on this roster right now, and I guess the point of the trade was that. Nick Avila and AJ Alexy, though, 2 interesting arms. We'll likely see Nick Avila get a shot on opening day with the 26-man roster as he currently is on that. And again, just, there's no Anderson Severino. There's a Gregory Santos who just seemingly isn't 5'10". Anderson Severino could throw 99, but couldn't locate it and was, 5'10". It just really didn't seem natural. Gregory Santos, you see the build, you see the body, you see the velocity, it all makes sense. So the quality of the 40-man roster has improved, which is a win for the White Sox. It's not a huge win, but it is kind of getting rid of the lower half, the lower 10%, and improving it, which is what a good organization should do. And I don't think we saw that a lot last year in 2022. So I think it's a good step forward for the White Sox. Even though Jason Bilous is departed, I don't think many White Sox fans could recognize the name. It took me a long time to even learn the correct pronunciation. I thought it was Bilou.
Definitely had a Bilou vibe to it. Yeah.
All right. Well, see ya, Jason. Nice to know you. I feel bad for him mainly just because when we talked about the Charlotte Knights jerseys, when they revamped them, they went to this now like Electric City Blue or whatever it's called, Hornets Blue. And Jason Bilous was the mascot, was the
model.
The model, yeah. He was the model, and poor guy, getting his papers. That's baseball, I guess. Anyways, we are going to talk about Yasmani Grandal here, doing season previews for specific players. And I guess we'll throw in Seby Zavala because we don't have a specific day for Seby. And we talked a little bit about Leury Garcia when we talked about Romy Gonzalez. So we'll lump in Seby Zavala here. Where is the White Sox catcher health right now as an organization, or at least, at a major league level? Vinny, we can start with you. Are they at a healthy spot with Grandal and Zavala?
Are you talking about the literal definition of the word health, or are we talking about the quality of the players? Listen, I think that they go hand in hand, right? And one of the big storylines, probably the big storyline for Yasmani Grandal this year, is going to be, what is he able to do physically? And I don't think, I don't think it needs to be driven home in some crazy way, like, oh my God, the guy can't move. I think you made the joke yesterday. Is he going to be able to walk? That's a little over the top. That being said, it's about staying on the field. It's about staying available. He plays a position that takes a unique toll on the body in as far as baseball positions go, and a knee and a back, you would think, would heavily be involved in playing that position defensively. So we're going to see if the procedures that he's have done and the rehabs that he's had done over the last 2 years really have made him a healthy player going into spring training this year. We've all seen the video and heard the podcast that Chuck did with him over at NBC Sports. We've gotten kind of an offseason update on him, and it sounds like he's working out at an incredible level. And I would expect nothing less from Yasmani Grandal. You go back to 2021 when he has that injury up in Minnesota, and basically within a month or two, within less than 2 months, he is, working his ass off in the outfield every single day to try and get back. And he did. He made it back in a very quick fashion. And then, of course, we know what he did with the bat after he did come back. So I think it is, for me, it's less about what sort of production we can expect from Yasmani Grandal, and it's more about what sort of health we can expect from Yasmani Grandal. When I've talked about throughout the offseason, is there a move to be made at the backup catcher spot? That's less of a comment on Seby Zavala and more of a comment on Yasmani Grandal. Is he going to be able to shoulder a number one catcher workload where he's going 4 out of every 5 days? Is he going to be able to post? And if not, do they need a reliable defender back there that can handle a heavier workload than what you would expect from Seby Zavala? So we talked yesterday about Yoan Moncada, and him and Yasmani Grandal are both kind of in the same boat where they had such abysmal offensive results last year. There's going to be a magnifying glass on them to see if they can turn that production around. I'm more confident in Grandal's ability to replicate some of the numbers from earlier in his career than I am in Moncada's, just because there's a larger sample size of success to draw on from with Grandal. That being said, though, they also both have health questions about them, and I'd probably be more confident, or have more questions, I should say, about Grandal as opposed to Moncada. I could see Moncada having a healthier year. I don't really know what to expect from Grandal considering what he's been through over the past couple seasons.
Vinny, I remember you telling us that Yasmani elected not to have surgery on his back, where he could have been back within, a month in the offseason, and instead chose to rehab. And I thought that was just like, when you said it to me, it was after the fact. I was like, wow, that's just weird. Like, this guy is just a different cat. Like, watching that video and listening to the podcast with Chuck, I was like, man, this guy is dedicated to being the best athlete that he can be. And I know the slowness and the me falling down and the alley stuff and that whole thing, he's an athlete. This man tries to get literally passing out while working out 7 days a week with the Blackhawks strength and conditioning coach in the offseason. That's ludicrous. That's dumb. But I know why he's doing this stuff. It's dumb in a good way. He's trying to get paid again. This is his last year with the White Sox. After that contract, he signed the largest contract in the free agent history of the White Sox at the time. Now it's been passed up by the great Andrew Benintendi. But we know last year was a fluke. Weighted runs created plus in his career: 100, 110, 116, 121, 100, 125, 121, 114, 158. That was the 2021 season, and 68. One of these things is not like the other. We know he was injured last year with both back, leg, everything in between problems. Yasmani Grandal, when healthy, even if he's like you said, like he got back from that injury in the 2021 season and was the best catcher in baseball at that time, was an isolated power of 280, which is out of this world. He walked more than he struck out in 2021. I'm not asking for that season because that was an outlier. I'm asking for an in-between of 2020 and 2021. If he can do that, he'll ride off into the sunset and get another contract from some other team, because the bat will play. Like you, Vinny, I worry about more with his catching ability. Overall, I think he's a good framer and a terrible catcher. Like he botches balls way too many times to be a starting catcher in the major leagues. Now, if he can shore some of that up, I know he's doing some of this because he's trying to frame a little better, which he was top 58% of framing last year for catchers. I think he can be even better defensively. Now, can the knees hold up after all the stuff he went through in 2021? We'll see, or 2022, we'll see. But that's the part I'm worried about. The hitting, I don't worry about at all with Yasmani Grandal, because I said in 2022, tell me which White Sox wasn't injured and or had a bad year at the plate. It was everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Jose
if Vaughn had
Abreu.
a bad, yeah, Jose Abreu was pretty good.
Yeah.
It fell off in August. What's that?
Is he coming back?
Who?
Jose Abreu.
No, he's not. I don't know if Vaughn had a bad year at the plate, but I guess you could say, I guess you're saying that he's not healthy. But yeah, I mean, I just worry that, again, he's 34. He's not young. Like, there's 2 years separating 2021 and 2023. And as I said yesterday, it's the knees and back. Like, I just feel, you said, Vinny, just because there's a larger sample size to lean back on Grandal career-wise, that you have a little bit more faith that he'd be able to bounce back in 2023 compared to Moncada. But I just think body-wise, Moncada, if you're able to fix whatever's wrong with his swing, hopefully you're able to increase the bat velocity. And I think you can, just because he's still at he's 28, right, in his athletic peak, where Grandal is now out of his peak. He working himself, I think, to the point of passing out. I don't know if I see that as a smart thing or as a possibly reckless thing.
People always say, Sean, though, you want to work out till failure. And that's what he's doing. He's taking it to the next level. It might be psychotic to me, but I'm not of an athlete's level. This guy seems like he is, hey, I want to get better every single day type of thing. And he was talking about doing these races, a half a mile race on a bike. You got to get there under 55 seconds and doing them consecutively. I was like, come on, man, stop it. I know you want to be the best. And hopefully these things he's been doing with the Blackhawks training staff, and I've had the same question, Melissa, about why he's training with this guy instead of White Sox, but apparently this guy is a world-renowned strength and conditioning coach. So Paul Goodman.
He went to the White Sox, and the White Sox helped him connect with that person. So that's what we've heard, is that, this is who the White Sox would suggest him to work out with.
And 7 days a week, that's a thing. Take a day off or two. Come on, man. You got to give your body a chance to recover. Build muscle. Look at me telling Yasmani Grandal how to work out.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say he'll probably politely decline any advice you have in that arena, Herb.
Come on, Yas.
Yes. I do wonder too, he's wanted to stay in Chicago. So I just do wonder how many certain strength and conditioning people are in Chicago, or whether the strength and conditioning is in Arizona, or whether they leave Chicago. Paul Goodman is set up here in Chicago because, the Blackhawks are currently in season. So I think it at least makes sense for that reason. We'll talk a little bit more about 2023. We'll take a break here and tell you right now about DraftKings. This podcast is presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. This week, new customers can bet $5 and win $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, for a limited time, all new and existing customers can get a no sweat same game parlay every day. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app today, opt in, and place a same game parlay on any NBA game. And if it doesn't hit, you can get a bonus bet back. The Bulls play tonight. The Bulls are playing the Nets. The Nets not only traded Kyrie Irving, they also traded Kevin Durant. So the Bulls, and I think the Bulls, CHGO Bulls crew has said this before, the Bulls should win. It doesn't mean that they will win, but I'm going to rock with a same game parlay. In that game, I will take the Bulls money line under 225.5 points scored. I'm an over 9.5 points for both Royce O'Neal and Patrick Williams. That's at 12-1. We'll see if it hits, but if it doesn't, I'll get my $10 bonus bet back. Download the app now and sign up with code CHGO. New customers can bet $5 on the NBA and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, with code CHGO. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Also got to let you know about our friends over at Pins and Aces. It is getting closer and closer. I am wearing a coat less and less, friends, which means we are getting closer and closer to Steven's favorite time, the golf season. Pins and Aces is the official golf apparel partner of CHGO. Our producer Steven loves his Pins and Aces gear and gets tons of compliments on and off the court when he's wearing it. because they're a family-owned golf and apparel business, and they make amazing polos, hats, golf bags, and our favorite beer sleeve. Again, as Vinny has pointed out, our good partners over at Goose Island. When you buy a lovely case of 312, they come in a 15. Maybe you get the no plans tasty time pale ale, and they come in a 15 case. And you get 2 beer sleeves from our friends over at Pins and Aces. 14 beers, right? 7 times 2 equals 14. I'm a math guy on this show. And then you just hold one in your Goose Island beer koozie. And then there you go. Pins and Aces has set you up with 15 beers for 18 holes. So check out pinsandaces.com and use code CHGO and receive 15% off your first order and get free shipping. That's pinsandaces.com. Thank you for your support. All right. Grandal and Zavala, you mentioned his, both of their, kind of lack of defensive prowess. This isn't Adley Rutschman or JT Realmuto. These aren't top catchers at their position. But I mean, what do you need from a catcher in MLB in 2023? I mean, Yasmani Grandal wasn't on MLB Network's top 10 catchers for the 2023 season. I don't think that's a surprise after his 2022 year. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Grandal, Vinny, as you alluded to with his past career ability, like I wouldn't be surprised if he put up a top 10 year for a catcher, because the catcher position's pretty thin. The catcher position's pretty weak. Like, I don't know if the White Sox get below average production from the catcher position this year. I don't know if that's a killer for the White Sox.
Well, again, and listen, you made the same point the other day about Moncada saying, anything you get from Moncada and Grandal is just gravy because they were so bad last year. I don't agree, and I think that if those two have good years, that's helping the White Sox be good. You know what I mean? I think if the White Sox are good, it's because those guys are having good years, not in spite of that. And so I think that those two are extremely important for the upcoming season. I don't think that you can say, all we need is, anything you get from 2 of your 9 starting hitters is gravy. No, you need those guys to be good. And so, when it comes to Grandal, I'll just reiterate, I see it being easier for him, or I see the idea of him producing again at a high level to make more sense to me than Moncada, switching it on after going nosedive over the past couple of years. So granted, that is health related as well, but Grandal's done this before, very recently at that, and the White Sox gave him that contract, and I don't think it was a bad contract, because he was and has shown over the course of the contract too, with the exception of last year, that he can still be one of the elite offensive catchers in the game. And I don't know if that's coming again in 2023. As I mentioned earlier, I don't know if the health is going to allow him to do that. But if you are a guy who can walk and can hit the ball with power, you don't need to do a whole lot of running. And I think that those are his 2 strengths as an offensive player. They're the 2 things that the White Sox struggled with the most in 2022. And if he can do that again, if he can get back to the things that he does best, then that's going to boost this White Sox lineup incredibly over the course of the coming season.
And I think catching is very important for the White Sox, because Yasmani Grandal is a below average catcher to me as far as throwing to second. He's in the 1 percentile in pop time to second base. We got the bigger bases, as Dan brings up, and the rule we can only throw over 2 times, and the third time, if you don't get him, that guy gets to go to the next base. So I'm thinking that it's going to be a free-for-all for people who got some speed on the bases, and they see Yasmani Grandal behind home plate, especially if he's teamed up with like a slow to the home plate guy like Michael Kopech. And ultimately, it doesn't necessarily matter if you have the right pitcher that's pitching over those things, but also you don't want to give up extra bases right there, because the outfield doesn't have premium arms. Andrew Benintendi, not a premium arm. Right field, maybe. Oscar Colas is a premium arm, and we'll see about Luis Robert. But I don't think his defense or Seby's defense is of above average status. He does framing well. But another thing I want to bring up about Yasmani is they're banning the shift. Yasmani Grandal naturally will have more hits that way because he is a dead pull hitter. And I think there's been so many times where he hits the ball hard and the second baseman is in medium right field and throws him out easily, very easily, because of the lack of speed. But now you can't do that. And Yasmani will be grabbing a couple more hits this year. So it'll be helpful on offense much more than he'll be helpful on defense. And all I want my catchers to do is to catch the ball. If it's thrown to you, catch the ball, tag the runner out that's going home. And he hasn't done that a lot.
Well, I think I would say this too. In that, to that point, Herb, it's about catching the ball that's thrown from the pitcher too, because again, I might be remembering something that is not backed up by the statistics. Sean, you could probably pull them up, but anecdotally, the White Sox had a heck of a lot of trouble with wild pitches and pass balls last year, and obviously that is just as much the pitcher's fault as it is the catcher's fault, if not more so. But they got to limit that, because those are those little things that a team like Cleveland exploited the hell out of last year. And if the White Sox are going to get back to the top of the division and further, they've got to tighten that thing up just as much as everybody said, oh, you got to tighten up defensively in the field, or you got to tighten up with the base running IQ, that kind of thing. That's one of those things that it feels like I saw an awful lot of last year. And if that's something that they can fix, be it Yasmani, be it Seby, or anybody else, it would go a long way toward helping them.
They were tied for 4th in Major League Baseball in wild pitches. Now, I don't know if this means anything for what's coming in. Probably just more about the quality of player. The Royals led Major League Baseball in wild pitches at 88. Second was the Rangers at 66. So they led that category by 22. Sox are at 64. So 2 off second place. And then pass balls, the White Sox did lead Major League Baseball with 15. Padres were second with 13. So leader in pass ball, tied for 4th in wild pitches. And then real quick to your point about Yasmani and the shift, Herb, Yasmani's weighted on base average versus the shift in 2022, 238. And this is from the left-handed side. Not against the shift, 217. So he was better against the shift last year. I don't think it's actually going to help him unless he's hitting the ball.
I mean,
hard.
that's just one.
I would look at other years too, because he was not hitting anything last year. So yeah.
Exactly.
Well, what is going to, just because he's working with Paul Goodman, like he's going to be able to now
healthy this year.
What theoretically makes him, he's saying he's healthy. I mean,
you can't work out 7 days a week.
He gets hurt. I mean,
you can't work out 7 days a week without being healthy.
I don't know.
Especially riding a bicycle like that as fast as he do, doing 3-mile runs.
How many times have we heard, XYZ is in best shape of his life? I mean, that never means anything unless you're out there proving it. And Yasmani, I mean, he did mention that he started feeling better around May or late or early June to Chuck, and then having an injury when he hits a single against Texas on the 11th. May was the only average exit velocity that he had that was 92 or higher. Everything else was 90 or lower. So, I mean, like, he just wasn't striking the ball hard. I don't know if that's going to change. I mean, again, I don't think he's going to be healthier. I don't know. But again, from the right side, against the shift, only being shifted 7.5% of the time when he's a righty, but 253 weighted on base average, non-shift 363 weighted on base average. And that's against the not shift. But again, that was happening 92.5% of the time. All right. Anything else? It's weird doing a show at 4. Or 4:30. I just looked up and I saw 5, and I was like, "Oh, good, we're all done."
We're late.
Anything we need to touch on with Yasmani before we wrap it up? I mean,
I think the more interesting thing on the catcher side in terms of what we're going to see in the spring has a lot less to do with Yasmani. Are we going to see a move in which they do bring in some sort of competition as the backup catcher? Are we going to see Seby Zavala just give in and then run away with the job? You know what I mean? And so if there's more to be done on the catching front, we'll see. And I think that is more interesting than anything else, because with Yasmani, it's all right, be healthy, go hit. That's it. I don't think he's going to get replaced at the top of the depth chart unless really, really unhealthy.
And maybe he's not replaced at the top of the depth chart, but maybe Seby Zavala isn't. I just see Seby's numbers, and we know that it was so BABIP inflated his success last year. 729 OPS plus of 107 in 2021. He did have about 200 more plate appearances in 2022, but in 2021, an OPS plus of 65, an OPS of 616. It was very shocking to see how successful Seby was with the bat. I don't know if it is that replicable. We'll have to wait and see. He was pretty successful down in Charlotte and Birmingham when he was in the minor league. So maybe he's finding a groove here, but there is a 25-year-old catcher in the organization. Actually, he's now 26, turned 26 back in September. Carlos Perez, we saw him late last season, and then he just played about 59 games in the Venezuelan Winter League. A 410 slugging percentage, 19 walks to 13 strikeouts in 195 at-bats, 9 doubles, 5 home runs, and 1 stolen bag for Carlos Perez. And we know that he's a decent fielder in his own right. So I do wonder if Carlos Perez has a good spring training. I mean, I think Seby, we know the White Sox thought he was better than Reese McGuire. But I do think that Carlos Perez could contend for this job.
That means Seby's cut then, right? Because he didn't have
options.
He didn't have more options. I don't know if they're going to do all that, especially when Carlos Perez is not going to be playing a whole lot with Yasmani Grandal taking the lion's share if it's done correctly. So I think even if Carlos balls out, they don't want to lose a veteran catcher like Seby Zavala. They can give you what he gave you in the last couple of years. Nothing spectacular, just decent.
Tony La Russa really liked Carlos Perez. He was constantly talking about Carlos Perez all the time.
My guy, and he wants to put Andrew Vaughn at second base. So Tony wasn't, there's some good ideas Tony had. I can't lie. All right. Any final thoughts, Herb, on Grandal, or you want to wrap it up and get to the game section?
Yeah.
I mean, is it just important for Grandal to post if he's playing 100 games like that's the best for Grandal?
Not necessarily. He played in most games as a White Sox last year, and you saw the results. I just need him to be good at the plate. Yes, if he plays only 93 games like he played a couple years ago, but hits 23 home runs and walks more than he strikes out, I'll take that in only 93 games over the 99 games he played last year. We know if he's healthy, he will post good ass numbers.
No, he's got to be healthy. That's it. He's got to be healthy. Yeah, I'm if the health is there, I'm confident that the production will be as well.
Quality over quantity.
That's what I would say.
I agree. I don't know. I mean, I think that's a big if with everyone, but specifically just him with. I mean, the way he talked about it just seems scary. I'm afraid to have a back injury if my whole body and leg is going to go numb.
To Carlos, your point, Sean, back injuries usually don't get better over time.
So that's why I'm just surprised that he's pushing it as hard as he can. I do want to add to Carlos Perez. What is this? Catcher defenseman adjustment according to Baseball Prospectus. Had a positive number for that down in Charlotte. Also added 2.1 framing runs down in Charlotte, and framing run standard deviation was an 8.5. So pretty good framer, Carlos Perez. So we'll see. Maybe there's something there with Carlos Perez. Again, he's fairly young. We'll take a break here, and then we'll talk a little bit more about some games, some fun stuff that we're going to get into. I got some ideas. Hopefully they're not bad. It's time for the DraftKings pick of the week, and it's time for the biggest game of the year, friends. It's time for the Super Bowl. All right, you got the Eagles versus the Chiefs. You got Steven Nicholas's boy, Patrick Mahomes versus Jalen Hurts. I'm excited for this game. I've been excited for this game for the past 2 weeks because I think the Chiefs are going to win, and they're at plus odds. And Steven, as you're the producer of the Bet Show, you know how much I love the plus money. So I think the pick of the week is the Chiefs at plus 104 on the money line. They're going to win the game. Don't mess around with the spread because it's 1.5 points. Pick who you think is going to win the game. Sit back, relax, strap it down. What did Hawk say? And bet on the game with DraftKings Sportsbook. I think that's what he said.
You got it exactly right, Sean.
Thank you. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app today and use promo code CHGO when you sign up. DraftKings pick of the week, again, is the Chiefs' money line to win the Super Bowl and hoist the Lombardi Trophy.
Can I put in one, Sean? Can I put a bet in for the DraftKings
Go ahead.
pick of the week?
What's your pick of the week?
I think that Devontae Smith will have more touchdowns than MVS. Marquez Valdez Scantling. That is plus 220 for Devontae Smith, who got 7 touchdowns this year to MVS's 2. But MVS has been scoring touchdowns in the playoffs, so Vegas is loving him.
You hear that, Steven?
DraftKings is giving you plus 220.
I'm big on MVS right now as I get this logo off my face. 116 receiving yards last game, season high. All these Chiefs receivers are injured. I'm actually riding on MVS this week. I think he has a big game, and I think he actually matches up better than Devontae Smith does. I think A.J. Brown's going to be the receiver that does well for the Eagles.
Remember,
we have huge size
controversy in the draft.
They play Darius Slay's out there covering your man, so lock down.
I'm not worried about it. Mahomes will endure all. He'll be all right.
No boy. Enjoy Sunday, everybody, and bet responsibly with DraftKings Sportsbook. Also, got to let you know about Chi-Town Cornhole. Chi-Town Custom Cornhole, the #1 cornhole provider for the Chicagoland area and Illinois since 2007. Also provided some lovely cornhole boxes for PH and X. Now they got Kevin Durant, so I think that's. I mean, no offense to Chi-Town Cornhole. I think Kevin Durant's a little bit cooler, but cornhole's really fun. Why did I say that? Anyways, our signature box style can be designed, digitally printed, covered in vinyl, and painted. Their cornhole boards come in with built-in drink holders, recessed in on the back, LED lights that light up the hole, and exterior handles for easy carrying and handcrafted scorekeeping. The handles are fantastic. They make them, they're very, very well crafted, very solidly made. Nice glossy slide on the box. You'd think that the cup holders, the lights, the abacus on the back would make it heavier, but the handles make it like the easiest boxes you've ever carried around. They're not like the ones that are just going to fold up, and then when you carry them, they're going to open up and hit you in the back of the shin. They're very quality. They thought about making these, and that's why they've been in business since 2007. They're veteran owned and operated, and we could ship anywhere and offer local pickups. And they specialize in corporate designs for your company's next marketing or social event, wedding gifts, and gifts for all occasions, and especially for tailgaters and backyard barbecues. So check out their website at chytowncornhole.com and make sure to follow them on Instagram at Chi-Town Custom Cornhole Boards. Thank you for your support. All right.
I think that they're better lubricated, the Chi-Town Custom Cornholes, because Kevin Durant is very ashy. And down there in the sun in Phoenix, you're going to need some lotion. So I think they'll be around much longer and much more durable than Kevin Durant down in Phoenix.
Hell yeah. Thanks for the save. Let's get into some games, huh?
Before you do, Sean, they're announcing the WBC rosters right now, and obviously TA and Lance Lynn, we knew were going to be part of Team USA. Looks like Kendall Graveman will be as well.
Very cool.
All right, here we go.
So the White Sox are all for the World Baseball Classic.
You got a lot of guys. They got like half the roster playing in the WBC. It looks like
Yohan Luis, the 3 on Team USA. 5.
Aloy, perhaps? Or did he switch his mind on that?
I think he's still playing. I mean, we could check out the Dominican roster, but I think he was reported.
Those also perhaps are I think those are being rolled out on MLB Network right now, so we might not know until bottom of the hour everybody that's going. So
hit me up, y'all, if you see if Aloy is there. According to Sports Illustrated, he's not on the bench. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Again, those are being announced literally right now, so we'll have those for you in a while.
I shouldn't make up information that I don't have. All right, Steven, why don't I'll let you be the master of ceremonies here. We got what here? About 20 minutes. Pick one.
You sent me 3 graphics. I have no idea what any of these are.
Pick one.
Here's the first one, guys. I hope you can do a better job deciphering this than I could.
Relax.
What are we looking at here?
All right, so it's a Venn diagram, folks. Look at this. And the game, the objective is to guess the categories. As you could see, Ray Durham is the only person to basically combine these stats. So if you're looking on the left-hand side, these are all of these players to reach a certain milestone, and all the players on the right are all these players to reach a certain milestone. Ray Durham is the only person to reach both of them, if that makes any sense.
I hear you.
I think I have a guess.
All right. What's the guess?
It's a certain number of home runs in a season and a certain number of stolen bases in a season.
I would like you to be a little bit more specific.
No, I know. I'm not submitting that as my final answer. I'll go ahead and say this is a 2020 season.
Close. Kind
All
of.
right.
I was looking for 2020 seasons. I was kind of looking for basically 2020 seasons.
Wait, Jim Thome didn't steal 20 bases, so that's not correct.
But he's on the right side.
He's on the left. That's right. Yeah. Duh.
Yeah, the right side is all people who steal a lot of bases. Fielder Jones, Lance Johnson, Frank Isbell, and his brother Jason, Eddie Collins, and Luis Aparicio.
And Eddie's brother Phil, of course.
Yes.
Frank Isbell and the 300 machine.
Yeah.
I love the Roch Ray run. Yes. So it is a 2020 thing.
No, so this is a career thing. If that should help you out a little bit more. This is not in a season. This is a career milestone. Vinny is on the right trail.
Okay,
homers and stolen bases, but I'm looking for the specific rounded milestone.
Got you.
100 home runs, 100 stolen bases.
That would have been my next guess. Yeah.
Close. 100 stolen bases is correct. Fielder Jones, Lance Johnson, Frank Isbell, Eddie Collins, Louis Aparicio, and Ray Durham have all stolen 100. Was it? No, I don't know my own stat. Hold on, was it 100?
This is about how this usually goes.
Stretch. It was 200 bags. So they are the only players to steal 200 bags in a White Sox uniform. And then the left side is 100 home runs.
100 home runs and 200 steals. Career White Sox numbers. All right.
I hope.
Super.
God, I hope. No, for some reason, I'm completely blanking on what the Venn diagram was. All right. Well, anyways, Steven, why don't you flash up the next Venn diagram? And yeah, Alexa hit 109 career home runs with the White Sox. So yeah, that was 100 career home runs and 200 stolen bases. All right, this is in a season. I actually didn't think the words were still on here, so ignore the since 1992 thing. So this is in a singular season. So on the left-hand side, these players reached a certain milestone. The players on the right-hand side reached a certain milestone. Todd Frazier's the only one to do both of them in the same season.
The left is 40 homers.
The left is 40 home runs. Yeah. Yes. Frank Thomas had 5 seasons of 40 home runs. Paul Konerko had 2 seasons of 40 home runs. Adam Dunn, Jermaine Dye, Albert Bell, and Todd Frazier had seasons of 40 homers.
And I would say, let's see. That's Ray Durham, Tim Anderson. These are all fast dudes. So I'm gonna say 20 stolen bases.
Close. It's a different milestone number, a little bit less.
10.
15.
Okay.
So Todd Frazier is the only person to steal 15 bags and hit 40 home runs.
Todd Frazier had 15 steals in one season? Wow.
I laughed my ass off when I saw that stat.
I'm going down there. You take over.
Strip.
It was one of those things. You get those running leads, and he would just make it close play at second base. So he was sneakily athletic.
Yeah, and the 15 steals ran after him. The 15 steals was since 1992. So that's why Louis Aparicio and all the older guys weren't featured there. But I thought Ray Durham and Tim were enough to flash that. All right, we got one more final game, and I do want to give a quick shout out to Jolly Olive. He works for John Boy. He created this game for the best of my knowledge. And he's made a lot of great YouTube videos. They're about 10 to 12 minutes long, and there's some specifically on the White Sox, like on their World Series run. So I do just want to give him credit and give him a shout out for the game that we're about to play here. So Steven, if you want to flash this one, it's the Connect Grid. And basically, you and Vinnie, Herb and Vinnie, are going to try to name the players that have played for the White Sox and the Mets, the White Sox and the Cubs, and the White Sox and the Royals. You are going to have 5 minutes. Right?
This is one player or all players for
as many players as you can name
for just 2 teams.
Yeah. So White Sox, Mets, White Sox, Cubs, White Sox, Royals.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yes. Andy Cisco.
Oh, we haven't started.
And that's where you're starting.
You're gonna have 5 minutes where we have basically 15 minutes left. You have 5 minutes for each team to name as many as you possibly can. All right. So when I say go, you're going to be able to start. We're going to start with the Mets. All right.
Both of us just start shouting.
Yeah, basically,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, that sounds.
Do we have
like,
to start with the
sounds
Mets, or we
accurate.
can just name anyone?
You're gonna start with the Mets. We're gonna
Okay.
do the Mets for 5 minutes, and then we're gonna do the Cubs for 5 minutes, and then we're gonna do the Royals for 5 minutes, and then we're gonna see how many you got. All right.
All right.
In 3, 2, 1, go. Mets and White Sox.
James McCann.
James McCann is one.
I'm going to
Others.
steal Jim Bowes and Bobby Bonilla.
Bonilla is one.
Oh, boy. Robin Ventura.
Boom.
Robin's one.
I'm going to say Jerry Royce,
Who?
old pitcher for the White Sox. I don't know if he pitched for the Mets. I think he did. We're getting an answer over there. So
no. There is a Jerry, but not Jerry Royce.
Ooh,
Give me
there's
that one
a
up.
Jerry.
are you talking about Jerry Manuel? Was the manager both?
No, I did not count that. It's players only. So
Okay. I'm going to steal Melissa's answer, then Tom Seaver.
okay.
Well, that's a good one. That one probably should have come to mind. Oof.
I like how
Tough.
you guys just didn't take the other one Melissa gave you.
I hid the chat because I'm trying to do this
because you're
correctly.
More morality.
Yeah, right, exactly.
It was
But
just there.
But there's so many Mets that I'm just blanking on all Mets basically.
There's so many White Sox.
There are some of these teams where like you like have no idea who played for them, even though you've watched them every year for your entire life. The Mets, I feel like, are one of the Dodgers. Whenever I do like a Spotify thing a Sporkle thing with the Dodgers, I'm like, who's ever even been on the Dodgers? They're just one of those teams.
Does
Adrian
Danny
Beltre.
Mindick count?
I'll count him. That counts.
Okay.
Fine. He hasn't played a game yet. But
How about
whatever.
Eduardo Escobar then?
Eduardo Escobar counts.
There you go.
There's another one that was just on the team in 2022.
The White Sox?
Yeah, the White Sox and the Mets. Well, he was on the Mets.
I mean, if we're going to count Danny Mindick, can we count my man Q?
Sure. Yeah, he counts.
I mean, we're going to count him in the Cubs thing too, but
Yeah. He's actually done it. Huh. Putting us on the spot. The Mets is a real dud here for me and Herb. I feel like we're gonna crush the Cubs one.
I'll give you some hints. There is some family members on here. Two brothers did this.
Alamars.
Yep, Sandy and Roberto.
There you go.
I mean, I'll just do the Daryl Boston one that was mentioned earlier, even though I hate the man.
Daryl Boston.
That's a correct pick. Let's see some other Mets.
I mean, hey, we did the game where you had to guess the players who have played for 13 and 14 teams.
Okay, Octavio Dotel.
Octavio Dotel.
I don't think Edwin Jackson.
There's a really big player.
Yeah, Bartolo Colon. Yeah,
There
he
you
would
go.
count as one of them, wouldn't he?
He would count as one of them because he played for him. There's a guy that we just mentioned too. Had a game about him.
Oh, Todd Frazier.
Todd Frazier did.
Todd Frazier.
That was a stop after Chicago. I think KPW. Maybe not.
He played for both the White Sox and the Mets?
Man, 21 years old, played for both of them. That's awesome, KPW. Congratulations, brother. So a Toronto Blue Jay that played for both of the Mets and the White Sox.
He hasn't played for the Blue Jays yet.
Chris Bassett.
That was the one that was currently on 2022.
Did Chris Singleton play for the Mets?
I think he did.
Singy.
No, he didn't.
Play for the Orioles. I know that.
It's a name though.
It is a name.
One of his
at least tried.
One of his other teammates, maybe think of what's on your lip, Vinny, played with the Mets and the White Sox.
Jose Valentin.
Yeah, Jose Valentin.
There you go.
And that's, I mean, I'm pretty much.
You guys tapped out.
Addison Reed.
Addison
there
Reed.
you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
Closer
there we go.
There's a call that Chris Tannehill died. He wanted to have Herb. He needed to have this call from Hawk.
Not Alexei.
No.
Not. I don't know. It's Dwayne Weiss. Dwayne Weiss, as the president used to say.
No. I thought it was going to be a good enough hint. All right, we tapped out.
Yep.
All right. Well,
Uribe didn't play for the Mets, did he?
I don't think he did. Let me check though.
Dodgers
Juan
and
Uribe
Rockies.
did. Juan Uribe
Hey,
did.
Uribe,
boom.
there we
44
go.
games for Juan Uribe. There you
There
go.
we go.
All right. Tom Pacioretty did. He was
Oh,
both a Met
Wimpy.
and a White Sox.
Is
Yeah,
it Tom
Wimpy.
Pacioretty?
I don't know what his name
Ooh,
is.
Tom Pachorik.
Wimpy. Tom Pachorik. There you go.
Alejandro De Aza.
now.
Jimbo's got it. Come on, Timo. Come on, Timo.
Oh, Timo was an easy one, yeah.
Was both a White Sox and a Met. Shingo Takatsu was a Met and a White
Rick
Sox.
White played for both the White Sox and Mets, confirmed.
Rick White was both. Was that Connor in the chat there?
I came to mind, but I went to check.
David Ardzima. Lance Broadway, my favorite guy.
Ooh,
I
there's
shouldn't
a
go.
good one,
Phil Umber also. Just trying to. JJ Putz, John Rauch.
yeah, there's a
Hector
lot.
Santiago.
Did
Yeah,
I tell you the day I hung out with Lance Broadway?
No, did you?
I mean, not really, because him and Chris Getz went another way, but our main guy was John Danks.
Hmm.
You know, so Ranji took us out. Like Ranji said, "Hey, come meet me up," and those three were there, and the other two, Chris Getz and Lance Broadway, just stayed at the place we were met at, somewhere in Wicker Park. Then John Danks proceeded to treat us for drinks at Cannes and Beaumont's for the rest of the night. Like He was insulted. I was bringing my wallet out. He was like, "Get that shit out here." That's why I'll never hate on John Danks, because he paid for my drinks one night.
Cheers, Johnny Danks. All right, let's go to the Cubs here. I guess the only, all right, let's go to the Cubs here.
How many did we get for the Mets?
So you got 17 for the Mets.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
McCann, Bonilla, Ventura, Seaver, Mendick, Escobar, Quintana, Sandy and Roberto Alomar, Darryl Boston, Octavio Dotel, Colon, Frazier, Bassett, Valentin Reed, and Uribe. Time for the Cubs.
Okay.
Oh, wait. 5 minutes starts now.
Steve
Neil
Stone.
Kotz,
Kotz and Stone.
Ron Santo,
Stone, Santo.
Sammy Sosa,
Matt
Sosa,
Karchner.
George Bell,
Bell.
David Ardsma,
Yar.
Also was a Met.
Jose Quintana,
Boom.
Quintana.
Nick Madrigal.
Madrigal.
No, I'm stumped.
How are you stumped after naming Nick Madrigal? You got two more.
Oh, of course.
Craig
forgetting
Kimbrell.
his name. No, him.
and Cody Hoyer.
There
There
it
you
is.
go.
Cody Hoyer.
I was about to say.
Lance Johnson, did we get him already?
One dog. No, you did not.
Yep. First one.
Vance Law.
Vance Law.
Vance Law. Nicely done.
Scott Sanderson.
Let me see. Sander. Yep.
Mark Johnson? Yes, no, maybe so.
Catcher.
I don't know if that's right.
Johnson. We got Lance. That's it.
Yeah.
Got a couple Jacksons.
Juan Pierre.
Juan Pierre.
The most hated man in America. Let's see. Did I say Darren Jackson?
No one said any Jacksons.
Darren Jackson.
counts.
Here's a real good one. You ready for this one?
Mhm.
Mike Olt.
Mike Olt. My guy.
Ugh.
Michael.
Mike Olt.
He was the guy holding Chris Bryant back.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see some pitchers. Oh,
I mean, just think.
I could go through all the damn catchers. Wellington Castillo.
There you go.
What's the other one? Gio Soto.
And
Gio
Dioner
Soto.
Navarro as well.
Yeah.
Did Wellington Castillo?
I
Oh,
thought
yeah.
he was on the team. Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember him as a Cub.
Well, yeah, he was a Cub for 4.
Yeah, no, you're right. You got the three catchers. You said Darren Jackson. There's a couple more Jacksons.
Edwin.
All right.
Edwin.
There he is.
Another one too. Same era, kind of.
Oh, Austin Jackson.
Austin.
Ooh, yeah. There you
I
go.
forgot he played for the White Sox.
There's a relief pitcher.
I bet there's several.
Who's pretty recent. Oh, he followed Joe Madden around for a bit.
Steve Cishek
There you go.
sells seashells by the seashore.
the other guy, Jesus Christ, he was an Angel.
I don't
last
think he
year.
played for either the Cubs or White Sox.
Yeah, no.
He
was
was
an Angel. Yeah,
He was
I
terrible.
think.
Sorry, he was real short. Short reliever. What's his name? He was really damn good. Dimbora. Ryan
there you go.
Ryan Tepera.
There you go.
Dimbora. Shout out to Ozzy.
Who is he traded for?
Who? Ryan Tepera?
Yeah.
It was right
was
before
it?
the Craig
it was,
Kimbrell trade, I think.
Clayton McClure was always one of those guys. I don't think they made it yet.
Yeah, he sucked his first White Sox game, and White Sox fans were like booing him lustily, and then shoved the rest of the time he was there.
And got Carlos
'Cause
Perez real mad at him.
There's a couple that Jimbo's gotten that I feel are pretty gettable.
Well, we can't see.
I'm sure many
It's
are
true.
gettable, but yeah.
All right, you got a minute left. You guys want to tap?
I feel like we should be doing better at this, Herb.
Yeah.
Just in general, but specifically in this category. Brent Lillibridge played for both teams. There you go.
The Crusher.
Thrillabridge.
I feel like another shortstop, second baseman I'm missing.
Dude, there's a lot.
Just all middle infielders all the time.
When I hear it, I'm like, oh, son of a bitch.
I mean, there's so many names.
Yeah, it's just all of them.
Feeling tapped? 20 seconds.
Certainly, we got some good ones, though.
Yeah,
we could be proud of what we got.
We're gonna tap you guys. Jimbo.
Wait up, Kevin Tapani.
Was that a hint this whole time? Is that what you kept saying? Tapped.
I pretty much probably jogged my mind right there. Yeah,
there you go. As Jimbo mentions, Clayton Richard, Goose Gossage, Kosuke Fukudome, Scott Iyer, Luis Vizcaino,
Bob Howery. Bob Howery.
The Shark, Jeff Samardzija.
Sure.
Yeah, a lot of great names on there.
Absolutely.
I think that's about. Anyone else you should be kicking yourself on? That's about it.
How many we get?
And our guy Jason Isbell was also a Cub and a White Sox.
Jose Ruiz will be going to the World Baseball Classic.
Oh, for which
for the Venezuelans. Pitching for the Venezuelans.
Oh, it's pitching. Nice. Okay. I thought he was just gonna go as a fan.
10.
He's gonna be in Arizona. And let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. I feel like I counted wrong, but 26.
26. All right.
Better
Royals
time. Yeah, that is better than the 9 Mets. We'll see if you can beat the Royals.
Andy Cisco went in. That dong.
You want Andy Cisco?
I think so.
So the Royals one that I think, Herb, we should try to beat
Cisco
our
was
Mets
not.
score.
You sure?
Andy Cisco was. No, I'm sorry. I spelled Cisco wrong. I spelled Cisco with a C.
With a Q at the end?
All right. So
what were you saying, Vinny? Sorry.
We should try to beat our Mets score with the Royals. I don't think
it was 17
score, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see. 26 was the Cubs record. 17 was the Mets. Starting now, Andy Cisco has already been said.
Chris Getz.
John Roush? Question mark?
Ooh.
I'm just doing tall relievers.
No, John Roush.
Okay.
He was not
Sure.
a Royal. He was a White Sox. He gave up a lot of home runs to Mike Cameron.
And we're done.
Wow, that was quick.
Come on.
We can just say the one. Yeah, can we say the guy who's gonna play Benintendi?
Oh yeah,
yeah, that counts.
There you go. If you're counting all those signed Mets.
There are a lot that are good. I mean, there was one that was just on the White Sox. Yeah.
Ooh, Martinez.
Tea time.
One.
There was one on the 2022 White
Sox.
Sox.
Miguel Olivo.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Jermaine Dye.
Yes.
Let's see. Left fielder, right fielder, center fielder. It is hard to think about Royals.
I've literally given you a hint. I've given you a hint.
He said he was on the 2022 team.
Last year.
Now you expect me to think about the 2022 White Sox. I've already tried to trash that memory.
Billy Hamilton is not that guy, but he's been on both of those teams.
Billy Hamilton counts.
I just love that the comments are probably just full of like it's like 1,000 answers just pouring into the comments. We're just sitting here being quiet.
No one's gotten the answer from me. Also, as KPW says, Jose Ramirez not going to be on the Dominican team.
Oh, how about that?
Oh, yeah, Matthew Lucas has gotten the guy that I have been thinking of.
Last year's team.
Certainly the White Sox.
Matthew Lucas likes your integrity.
Oh, thank you.
Your integrity.
Thank you. It's not making for very good radio as we're just sitting here in silence
That's
thinking.
Fine. I just can't wait to laugh at you guys when you get it. When you don't get it. This name is. Come on.
Wow. Oh, it's Johnny Cueto.
Thank you. Come on, Johnny Cueto.
Yeah, maybe just
we forgot about his.
And we would have gotten it.
We forgot about Johnny Cueto's brief time in Kansas City, where he won a World Series.
Yeah,
I think his time in Chicago was briefer.
Oh, definitely.
But it was here, and last year. Kansas City Royals and White Sox.
There's a current White Sox.
Then
there's two current White Sox that were former Royals.
How about that?
How about that?
Liam Hendricks. And did Jake Diekman pitch for the Royals?
Jake Diekman.
Boom. I'm crushing this, Herb.
There you are.
There's like 4 guys.
You're not getting 17. I'll tell you that.
Come on, though. But I got Chris Getz right away.
I'm surprised there's like probably 4 names I'm looking at right now that I'm surprised have not been said.
Sure.
Yeah, because you're looking at them. You research this thing.
Their names have been said today.
Bo Jackson.
Vincent Edward Jackson.
There you go.
Yes, good one.
I mean, you could just think of that last name. You just said him in the last.
Austin Jackson.
Austin Jackson.
There you go.
I didn't know he played for the Royal, and the Cub, and the Tiger.
Well, I think I made that up.
I was wondering.
So
I made that one up. That one was a lie. All right, I'll give you one. I'll give you John Jay for that one.
Oh, Federalist Papers.
We're trading Austin Jackson for John
We're trading
Jay.
my bad.
It was the same year, wasn't it?
Yes.
Year in White Sox history, maybe? Austin Jackson might have been the year before.
John Jay and Yonder Alonso. I remember those went together because they're Manny's boys.
To answer
Alex Rios did not play for the
Alex
Royals,
Rios, yes.
Did he?
Hey, John Jay, also a Cub and a Sox.
That's a different game. It doesn't count.
Nope.
That one's
All
right, here, I'll give you 27. All right, you got 27.
27.
27. There you go.
Federalist Papers. Thank you, John Jay. I've always been tapped on this, except for my Andy Cisco pull. That was great.
All right.
Wilson Betamete.
Wilson Betamete. There you go.
Betamete.
There's some easier names, but Wilson Betamete is said.
That's
Are
right.
you pulling these out of your time in Kansas City, Vinny?
No. Wilson Betamete was long gone by the time I was there.
2009, 2010, 2011.
I think the only crossover when I was there was Getz. Oh, is that the timer? All right.
That's the timer. We would have taken Emilio Bonifacio, Melky Cabrera, Chelsea Cuthbert, which I don't think you guys were going to be able to get.
Yeah.
Octavio Dotel, Ross Glode, Josh Fields, Brian Goodwin, Tom Gordon.
The Flash.
Roberto Hernandez was also a Royal.
James Shields. How did we not get James Shields? God darn it.
James Shields, Kelvin Herrera, Philip Umber, Jeff
Alex
Keppinger.
Rios. That hurts.
I got Rios.
Rios
we got
Rios.
Okay.
Scotty Pods and Irvin Santana.
I literally bring up Irvin Santana like every day.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And Joaquim Soria as well.
Yeah.
So and shout out to Jimbo, who also got Horatio Ramirez and Floyd Bannister.
Floyd Bannister, good one.
That's gonna do it for the CHGO
How
White
many
Sox
we get?
podcast. Let me count it up.
7?
What'd you guys think? What'd you guys think of these games?
It was good, but there's a lot of dead air. There would need to be a way maybe to tighten it up. Be like,
this guy.
Like we have to get a specific number, like a specific thing or something like that. Yeah,
like the Sporkle kind of tells you like this is 2020
position or something like that. Right. Yeah.
All right. I'll try to workshop that.
But I did like that. I mean, I got to mention Wilson Betamete, so.
You did get to mention Wilson Betamete. We'll keep these numbers too if we want to keep trying to beat your scores. we're going to count John Jay. So we're going to give you 27 for the Cubs. You got 17 Sox and Mets, and you got 14 Sox and Royals. Yeah, not a good performance. I got to be honest. Herb kind of brought you down in the Royals.
Wow.
You got Andy Cisco.
Wow.
Herb, that was if we went, we can go back
Herb
through.
Getting crushed.
Steven, you got your social video for the day. Go get supercut Herb's names that he brought up for the Royals. I think he brought up one guy.
Andy Cisco works, doesn't it?
Andy Cisco works. You got the first one.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna wrap it up. That's Vinnie Duber. You can follow him on Twitter.
You tried to deny me my Andy Cisco. Remember that too.
I did because I didn't know how to spell his name. That's Vinnie Duber. You can follow him on Twitter at Vinnie Duber, checking a 312. He's our CHGO White Sox beat writer. That's Herb Lawrence. You can follow him on Twitter at EctorWall23. He's our CHGO White Sox community leader. And I am Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. Thank you to Stephen Nicholas for producing the show. And we will talk to you next week. Go White Sox.